Ladies and gentlemen, it's the big one. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. We're live from the Intel Esports Arena, and I am your host, or at least attempting to be. My name is Alex Machine Richardson. I'm joined by some ever-lovely faces, and before you get to hear their thoughts on the up-and-coming games, you have to know what the games are, and that is what we're going to be doing. We're kicking off another day here. It is our match day 17, and this is what we have to look forward to. It will be the Danish Derby. We get to see North, who are of course representing FC Copenhagen, and we're going to be seeing them battle versus Astralis, which will it be a refreshing affair. NIP taking on Mousesports after that. We get to see the Swedes meet a Mousesports that have looked deflated since their foray of success in Mykonos. On the secondary stream, you get to see more from FaZe Clan. Should be relatively easy unless Hellraisers show up to play. And G2 versus none other than LDLC. I think that one is where eyes are being drawn. Get to see exactly what Existence has been doing. Been on the hard grind for a while now. Either way, your introductions now, as I do once again introduce to your panelists. We have a happy hot dog all the way from Serbia. It is, of course, the ever-lovely Janko YNK Paunovic. And alongside him, we have Chad Sponge. Sponge. The J is silent, like Django.
You make it sound sexy.
Thank you.
It's been a horrible day, hasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's been a really bad day.
You know, there's one thing that I have in store to turn around for you.
Go.
It's the hot, bloody match of the week.
It's the hot bloody match of the week.
Yeah. It's got hot and bloody.
That does not sound pleasant. Hot and bloody. Good grief. But it's going to be good, right? Like,
I'm really excited for Australis versus North.
Australis versus North. We get two maps that we'll, of course, be diving into later. But all in all, we do have ourselves quite a hot one. One of the reasons being the standings. Now, I'll throw this to Janko, where we get to hear from him is exactly how things are shaping up into match day 17.
Yeah, we see some of the favorites, you know, at the top of the table. Fnatic still with the #1 spot there, a bit of a surprise. But after that, North, Australis, and FaZe, the three teams you definitely expect to see in UNCE at the LAN finals. And towards the lower part of the table, actually G2, and this is not unfamiliar territory for them. Last season of Pro League as well started off with a 0-6 scoreline, ended up winning the whole damn thing. So I wouldn't write them off just yet, and you definitely expect teams like Navi and Mousesports to get some W's on the board, but Navi has been looking very shaky lately.
Yeah, they picked up 2-0 last night against LDOC, though. They're happy with that one. Yeah, I think G2 need to do the same for them as well. And just on that Fnatic little string, just tug on that a little bit more. I've been checking out their matches for the rest of the season. I think they're going to have a pretty rough time as we close and as we draw to the end of week number 7.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to have some bad games that could leave them rather cross. I need a haircut. Cross hair. Let's talk about it, because it is none other than Dupree. To make that hot match even hotter, this is what we're going to be showing you on your screens. We're going to be bringing you a new crosshair every day this week in the Super Week, and this day is Dupree's. It looks like, is that yellow? And
yes.
Oh, so thin.
I think we were just informed that they're going to add an outline to it, just so you guys can see it a little bit easier, because yes, it is yellow. It is a little bit difficult to see, but everybody seems to be having the static crosshairs so far this week. We've had Crims, we've had Guardian, and we've also had Mr. Dupree right now. So
it's also very similar to Crims's crosshair when you think about it, right? It's very small gap, size relatively small as well. The color is different, so also the thickness 0.5. That would probably mean Dupree plays on a
4x3 res.
Yeah, 4x3, but also smaller res, because with smaller thickness, it's still thick enough for you to be able to see it properly.
Is that CK or double C?
The thickness.
Double C.
Yeah.
That's double C.
I think we only work in double Cs nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's the way the world's going these days.
Probably in the dictionary, actually.
Oh, God. Do you reckon it is? Should we check it?
Yeah,
I'll do that. I've got plenty of time on my hands after we talk about some Counter-Strike.
Sure.
For now, that is Dupree's crosshair, and that does kind of lead us quite nicely into our first bout. We do have Australis versus North, and it's going to be a very hot match of the week. Look at this one, a battle for Denmark, and indeed the finals will be UNCE, as Janko did so beautifully say. Why don't we dive right in?
Yeah, they've only played 3 times this year, Alex, and they haven't actually played yet since North have added Valdez. So last time when they played earlier on in the year, they split a series in ESL Pro League Season 5. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys go head-to-head right now, considering that #1 position in Denmark is probably up for grabs from what North's been throwing out there.
Yeah, I mean, the scores on the doors, you can see rather inseparable. 10 wins, 8 wins, 4 losses apiece for them. Just a couple more games to be played for Astralis. it must be quite hard for Australis to realize that North have started chomping on their heels when for so long they were not only, trying to be the best team in the world, they were undoubtedly the best team in Denmark.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of, you want to think about Astralis and say they're super professional. They're not really going to care that much about their opponents. They realize their level has dropped off a little bit, but now they're working hard, and it seems like getting back into the swing of things. But I think there's always that little, a bit of a grudge. You remember when it was still Carrigan on the team with Australis and Dignitas back then, now North was starting to catch up to them. It was like, Australis saying, oh, now we have to play the best team in Denmark, being sarcastic, obviously. So I definitely think there's a rivalry going on there, and I absolutely think that Australis will want to get a 2-0 here to, just prove a point.
And talking of proving points, more frags for Cajun B will certainly make him feel even extra special with that victory under his belt. Then he said, victory. Been hanging out with you too long, Yanko. Now, one of the players who not only are we going to be putting under the spotlight for his crosshair, we're going to be putting him under the spotlight for an interview. So before we start breaking this down and getting into the nitty-gritty of the maps and the breakdown of that, let's go ahead and jump in and check out what Dupree had to say.
So looking at your recent results and the form that you guys are in at the moment, it looks like that you're not actually hitting your top level. Why do you think that is?
I don't think there's a specific reason to why we're not hitting our top level. I don't think you can pinpoint something specifically. If I had to maybe pinpoint something, it would probably be our individual performance. And that's a pretty big thing. It's not only just people not hitting their shots, it's also people communicating, people taking the initiative to do stuff together in the game. Helping each other out, always thinking, how can I help my teammate the best way? I think right now, as for everyone in your career, you go up and down, and right now we just hit a low level, and that's just how it is. The most important thing for us right now is to stick together and try and help each other, and be comfortable around each other, and always try to help each other if there's something we can do for each other. The worst thing we can do is start pointing fingers at each other and start being stupid or anything like that. So we're just trying to be very, very polite and just keep working, because we know we can do this and we have the star players to win tournaments. So right now we just keep focused on what we know works, and then we'll see what happens in the future.
Looking at the start of this Pro League, how do you feel like you've gotten off?
It's a bit up and down. I think we're 5-3, I believe. I think it is. So overall, I think we're doing okay right now. Our standings are still fine. We can still determine. It would be really bad if people lost all of them, so we can still determine if we go or not. But online CS is always really a little bit random, and the motivation is always a little bit off compared to when you play LAN tournaments. But since it's actually in Odense now that you go to the finals, we really want to play on Danish turf, so we want to give it a little bit extra this time in the online phase. So we definitely want to start winning, and I know we can do it, and it's all about being focused and practice well. And we're starting to have the mindset that even if it's just a practice game or it's an online game or it's a LAN game, you always have the right mindset. You always want to win, and you always play your best. So that's what we're focusing on.
Fantastic stuff from Dupree, just kind of shedding some more light on Australis, slight drop off, a little bit of a downward trend for the Danes as of late, as North have been doing nothing but rising since the addition of Valda. Now, you did pull on the teamwork thread, and I think we should continue to unravel that with our analysts. I saw you guys just nodding and eyes wide open when you heard teamwork, and that being at fault.
Absolutely, it's one of the main pros we discuss when we talk about Australis. It's not really about any one individual. It's always about teamwork and about them working well together.
Yeah, and they also mentioned mindset right there coming out from Dupree. Having the right mindset in the online versions of Counter-Strike is just as important as the offline. And if they can bring that through, that's something we see from this squad due to the kind of support structure that they have. So on a map like Mirage, where you do need to have a lot of teamwork, you got to hope the mindset's in the right place. Going up against a team like North, it's actually going to be quite the task for Australis, I think.
Okay, cool. Just realised that I was showing a bit too much flesh, so I was adjusting.
That looks nice.
Do you like that? I think that's a better look. I think it looks like I'm ready to present. I also look like I've lost all neck. Let me just get some of that back. There we go. Wouldn't want to... nope, not going to say anything, actually.
No, that's quite beautiful, Alex. I thoroughly enjoy that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. No, the reason you caught me off guard is because I thought you guys were going to start talking about some more in-depth stuff.
Yeah, but here it comes. Here it comes. It was a little bit delayed. I didn't press the button. That's my fault. I missed the big red button. It's just a couple of key stats. We've got the map win percentage on there. This one is more in the favor of North. The pistol round percentage. That is really bad for Australis. They have played this map 5 times in the last 3 months. They've won 3. They've lost 2. and that means they've only won 2 out of 10 pistol rounds. So pistol rounds is a huge factor for Australis going into this matchup against North. And they're both pretty similar there on the opening kill win percentage. That means when they get the opening frag, they convert the round 77.9% of the time for Australis and 73.8% of the time for North. So that's pretty close.
Yeah, it just tells you they're fundamentally strong, and also for Astralis, it's a good sign they could get 3 wins even without winning pistols. These are their positions that they hold on the CT side, device with the AWP in mid, but in reality with Astralis, it's not really about how they play individually in their positions, it's about what they do as a team, right? We go back to that teamwork aspect, and they are a very, very versatile team. This is a game versus Team Liquid in New York. You can see after being down 4-0, they change the pace, they go aggressive towards mid, and it works perfectly for them.
Yeah, and when you're pulling out stuff like this, going up against a squad like North, who occasionally like to take gambles, and they definitely love that mid control, this could definitely work and unravel that plan. I think MSL, at least historically, has been very based around getting mid control early on the T side.
Yeah, and that's something that is very disruptive and something that the T side has to keep an eye out on. And this is, you can see how they go on a 7-0 run, and a little bit later on in the half, this is something else that they do. You have Dupree throwing the deep smoke in B for Zipex, who then throws the incendiary, and that just allows Dupree to rotate back towards A, leave Zipex by himself, and that gives them the ability to cheat an extra player towards the A bomb site and not necessarily have to fight for mid control.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about with teamwork, Alex. They're having these little moves to do mid round to get map territory, to push the T's around, to actually give yourself some information. They're very important to have in your back pocket. You don't need to be deciding these coming out of spawn. It's something that you want to actually be able to do with the flow of the game. And a team like Australis has countless moves like that to actually play off against a team like North.
So brutal as well. I mean, what with $900, 2 nades, and you've either sliced an attack in half or stopped it entirely.
That's the truth. Something that you can use on a low buy as well, right? Because obviously, force buy is going to be difficult for you to win the round. But if you can have that extra player towards A, Zipex holds B by himself, that's something that can give you an edge.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, perhaps the next question has to be, on the side of North, is there something to kind of observe there? Is there something to expand upon that? I mean, you're looking at me very funny, Chad. Was there more to be said?
Yeah, I think we need to just delve into the Australis T side just quickly before we move on to
Sounds
North.
great.
I'm sorry, Alex. We actually have a clip that Janko prepared earlier for us that we can whack on up.
Yeah, I mean, it's continuing on that thread of versatility and teamwork for Astralis, right? Same game, just them being on the T side. You can see the double smokes that they line up for. That's the smoke for top mid and for window room, and that really restricts the vision for the CTs. This time around, in this gun round, they just go for full-on mid control. They send a lot of players there, but what they can do is, with these smokes, they can do pretty much whatever they want.
Yeah, and I think, we talk about the key to this map definitely being mid. For them to be able to do this time and time again and then play off of that, it's very rigid. But if you're a team like North, you can just throw just as much at them. We saw that that setup that Australis did with the mid control. North have the same thing.
Exactly, and here they just send Glaive there by himself. He adds an extra smoke towards Cat, kind of simulating a B split, and the rest of the team is actually all the way towards the B bomb site. They just explode immediately. You can see 135 left on the clock. They jump through the smoke, they throw the pop flashes, push their way into the bomb site, and really that's very difficult. If you're on the side of Team Liquid, how do you know? You have to either push mid aggressively or just give control of it and fight somewhere else, because you can't have the vision because of the smokes, and if you don't have vision, you don't have information. They can hit you with anything.
Yeah. Now we can go to North, Alex.
We can.
I'm sorry.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry we stopped you there.
Not at all. No, so we get to talk about what North are going to be doing in response to that. We talked about how their T-side's working.
Yes.
This is the North Lions. Is there much of a variation? Doesn't seem too different.
No, this map has to be played relatively cookie cutter, and the same thing again, we're going to focus on middle, that trio of Config, Cajun, and AZ. They also have their version of a mid control. We saw the one that Australis like to do, very aggressive. They like to take the fight there, but the version that North really throw at Alex, they can use it passively. You see Config jump out here. He's leading the way. He's going to be playing heads up first, and AZ comes out. Here's his back turn. So if any flashes come in, he's ready to whip around and take that duel while Config's blind and Cajun's covering underpass. Just something to note here, this is a weakness, is MSL and Valda, they're on the bomb sites on their own. They can just be isolated if a fast attack comes in, especially a contact player, an explosion would really make life difficult for the retake coming to those bomb sites. And you're about to see in a second, an attack comes in on the B site from FaZe, and both players in middle quickly jump up, try and rotate through Cat. Turns out to be a fake, they're caught in no man's land and they can get isolated. So if Australis know this is coming, they know know this is a play, they can definitely take advantage of those solo bomb sites and catch North out of position with rotations.
Yeah, the patience is very interesting for North. Usually if you don't have contact early on, someone is going to push and try to get an extra advantage, but they were expecting maybe something else, and yeah, that time around they get punished for it.
And this is the highlight player for me, I think, is MSL. He has a very big job to do that A bomb site being the anchor. He needs to mix it up, and from time to time he gets help from AZ, he mixes it up with Cajun a little bit, but most of the time he's just playing around this triple box, just playing for information, and either playing ticket. So they like to play retake A a lot, and that's something that Australis could try and exploit, and we saw FaZe attempt to do that last night.
Yeah, I think definitely Astralis is going to have to make adjustments of their own because they like to run those executes towards A as well, and retake is the perfect counter for it, right? Just wait for them to push through the smokes, get the advantage, and then go for the retake. But I think people underestimate a little bit the fact that, you know, both Config and Valde are on B/Cat, and they're like, what? That makes A weaker and what's happening. But when it comes to the retake, actually, you have two of your best players coming in, and they probably still have their utility. Damage has been done, so even if it's like maybe a 2 or 3 for those guys, it's perfectly winnable.
And I mean, my next immediate question was, I didn't quite catch the graphic. Who's alongside MSL? Who's going to be the first man on the scene?
AZ's connector.
AZ's
so,
connector.
Yeah, you know, they don't tend to play 2 on A very often. They like to play retake quite a lot, and that, you know, is very easy to exploit. It's just hard for those. Not a lot of firepower at A.
So that was going to be my immediate question. Is then surely Australis are aware of this as much as we are. We're going to be seeing a lot of those kind of A executes that have fallen out of favor as of late, Yanko. I mean, they're not something we see so much of.
True, but Astralis throws a twist in it, right? They sometimes have Dupree pushing towards connector, they pop flash for him, or sometimes they have 2 players towards CT. They're perfectly aware they can't just plant the bomb and stay back. They need to push for further map control. But again, if North plays it properly, you know, you just have to play it safe so they don't get a kill with that push. But it's tricky because you don't want to give away a kill, but you also don't want to give away too much map control to them when they go for that push. So it's finding the right balance, and I'm sure we're going to see both teams, you know, trying to out-mind game each other because of the tendencies that Chad has pointed out.
Perhaps in a little bit of a different vein, but you talked about, you know, North CT side, and you talked about how they do have quite an affinity for middle, AZ, Config, and of course Cajun B. How do we feel? Not necessarily just on this map, but this is probably going to be popping up once or twice. Is this Config secondary AWP? Has there been a discussion? Have you had one yet, Chad, about how that is starting to find itself in Config's hands more recently?
I haven't actually seen him pick it up too much on the CT side of this map because
it's not.
No, but it's definitely something they can use, right? You know, you see other teams do it where they can use an AWP at ticket booth, and then Config can AWP over towards Cat, or he can AWP aggressively into B. They can have 3 rifles on mid still. But for Config, I think he just needs to be a little bit more, you know, sporadic, because when he gets an entry frag, I think they convert like 75% of the time. It was a stat I busted out the other day. So, you know, the more he gets away with being aggressive, so it doesn't matter what weapon he has.
How relevant is that stat? If it was the whole team was something like 73, and if Config gets an opening frag at 75, is that relevant?
Yeah, so just to put it in context, when you look at the amount of kills, the amount of opening kills, Config, I grabbed these stats the other day, so they're not relevant as of right now, but the opening kills for Config in the last 3 months, he gets 218. Right, the next closest on his team is MSL with 184, and yeah, so Config converts, you know, a lot more based off of those entry frags.
He's getting more, and they're all being converted. Okay, interesting. 280 to what? 180.
218, sorry, to 180.
18 to 180.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you ever ask who the entry fragger is, I think that's been answered for us. Is that opening kills on the T side as well?
No, it's a bit
of both.
CT and T side, but it just shows that on either side he wants to take a good fight.
He's getting involved. I'm not surprised.
When Config goes in, he goes in.
He does. Full commitment. Hot dogging, as they call it. Now, moving into more of a kind of general discussion, I actually love that. Why don't we do that all the time? That was fantastic. I feel like I've learned so much. I'd like to actually start asking a little bit more about, you know, expectations for this one. I mean, is there genuinely a bit of a North bias from you, Chad? I mean, do you think we're going to be seeing, not bias in that respect, in terms of, you think North are going to take this one?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors as to why I would see Australis struggling, and that's the pistol rounds. They don't seem to get a lot of pistol rounds on most of their maps, and Mirage seems to be an exception, only having a 20% win ratio over 5 maps. You know, that's not fantastic. So I'd definitely put a tick in the column of North there. They're going to look stronger there. But then you have to weigh it out with Australis are better at converting just full gun rounds. Yeah. So I'm leaning towards North because I like what I saw from the last night against FaZe, to be completely honest.
And also, I think it's safe to say North has the best player on the server in Config. I think he's in, you know, a great form at the moment. That might give them an edge, but honestly, I believe it's going to be super close. I think it's going we're going to have two teams play some great Counter-Strike, and it's going to come down to just who gets the better reads out of the in-game leaders, and also who plays better in those couple of crucial swing rounds that we have.
Guys, the scene is so very perfectly set. We know so much to be looking forward to, and indeed the casters are too. We've got some tendencies to keep our eyes out. It's going to be coming down to some raw firepower, and as they've already made it clear, a whole lot of exploiting each other's weaknesses. We have two of our strengths to introduce to you now, though, Henry G and Sadakist.
I like to think that I'm a strength. Hot match of the week. This right here is some sort of Danish tea that they can make a concoction that makes you feel better when you're sick. It is the hottest thing I've ever touched, and the girl that brought it in here carried it across the entire room bare hand. She's like Daenerys.
I like that.
That's how hot this hot match of the week is. She's the only one who can touch it, apparently.
Pale in comparison,
perhaps. Actually burned my hand.
Well, there we go. I think this will be a pretty good game. I know your TA is quite interesting as well, but Australis versus North. Me and Chad recorded a video about this one. North on my team, I was kind of picking up Config and saying he's going to be the best player on the server. I think that's absolutely correct. And I feel like the hype's died down from Australis. I don't think they're the team they once were. And I feel like North can give a good run for their money here and potentially get to 2-0. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah, 2-0 could be interesting. I think North are the better team right now. There's a lot of hype behind them. They're certainly rolling with it. They seem confident in their stride. Australis seems a little bit lost, less motivated, perhaps. I don't know if that's true. It just seems that way at a glance. They haven't been in the forefront, I guess you could say, ever since time to take time off before the major, and then not succeeding in the major, knocked out by Gambit, no less, on their run to the final and the victory. Think of that as something to consider, because they got knocked out by the team that won it, which you could say, okay, yes, they got knocked out by the best team. However, you could also say that if they beat them, maybe they would have won their second straight major. It's been all downhill ever since.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The first map of the evening is Mirage. The whole match of the week, Australis versus North. And there will be a North T-side star here. PT50 for AZ. Water to bomb around him. One smoke and a flashbang as well. Looks like they head towards the B side. It could be a little fast split coming in here as well. As MSL gets towards middle, trying to spot any sort of aggro here. Gets a player towards that connector position. Cajun goes towards the underpass here as well. So not fully committing towards B, but just exploring middle and getting control of this area.
Volda getting very close with his Glock. He spotted toward the vents. Device takes some shots through. Config spots him up, but doesn't do much more. Lets him run away, actually. Config gets across the vent. Volda into the site, takes down Zipix. It's already starting off well for North. As Glave's going to try and rotate around. The bomb will be planted, and there is no kits. I take that back, excuse me, Glaive has one.
This is a really cool round from North. We'll break it down in a second, but still a 5-on-3 for now. And it looks like the CTs might be trying to save his Kiabi still on the A bomb site. They'll explore their options towards the B side of the map, but every kill coming in favor of North. This is a flawless round. Everything they presented was almost spot on, and this will be the final kill coming in. So let's break that down quickly. We had one smoke, one flashbang, two players in the B apartments. We had MSL controlling middle. He goes there at the very start, watches for any aggression coming in. As soon as he's ascertained that's clear and he can actually push them back, a smoke lands between the steps and the jungle area, blocking vision towards jungle. At that point, three players come from the underpass, go towards the window room and towards that vent. They get the kill at the vent, and they're splitting towards B through CT spawn, while the other two are pincering in from the B apartments. And you can see the CTs rotating through, coming back towards A, had no idea what was going on, didn't drop a single frag, and that's a perfect tactic there. That's a really impressive play from North. I enjoyed that a lot. And now, this is looking good as well. Smokes over towards the A-bomb site, flashes in as well, and North will be led by MSL in towards the A-bomb site. Every smoke and flashbang deployed at this point. They're down to 9 HP now, 0, as they overwhelm the A-bomb site here.
Overwhelm, and they're going to boost back up. Dupree on top of the garbage cans, puts his teammate on his shoulders to try and get a shot in. It's Device with a deagle. Tries his best, but then falls down and can't find the angle he needs. They'll back off. They all have armor. They all have pistols invested into the round, and as CTs, they want to hold those for at least one more. At least one more.
Oh, yes. Might as well save your upgraded pistols. Armor, CZs, Deagles. It's a very expensive investment from the second round. And you've got 4 players up. You know the round's over. You haven't got the fuse kit to work with there. Might as well keep the weaponry. See if any exit frags come towards you. And one will for sure is expect on AZ and T-spawn there. Won't be able to recover the weapon. And that's what North are trying to deny right now. They keep 4 players alive. And we do find a couple more kills here as Config and MSL we'll leave just Dupree and Device surviving there. So it was potentially going to be 4 pistols going into this round. It does dwindle down. And we'll just be Dupree and Device now with the CZ and the Deagle respectively. They won't be able to bring much more to this round than this. And it should be 3-0 for North. That pistol round really was beautiful. If anyone's out there an aspiring movie maker or YouTuber, get making that now. That's really quite a
there you go.
interesting one.
Profit, as you should do. You could do. Device, tagged by Flames, walks forward of them, gets, I guess, forced out as he can't go back. He knows they're behind. But at the same time, nearly got caught being aggressive.
What is this then?
I'm a bit curious as well. I'm wondering,
Like
Molotov's pulled his Cajun legged out.
Yeah,
I think Cajun legged out.
protect him. Maybe he went to like the toilet. He's like, you know what, guys? We're in the same room. We can...
Well, that's why they would know he lagged out. Yeah.
Well, no, that's it.
Everyone's lagged out, apparently. There's certainly, I think... Okay, that's kind of interesting. Because Cajun wasn't moving while everyone else was. He clearly logged out first, and then we logged out. I'm a little bit intrigued.
Well, it was one of the more less important rounds, I guess, and we'll see whether we can bring us back into the fray. And we'll be not Dust 2. I know that's an interesting map. Oh, it's us. We're back.
You know what? I tweeted it the other day. I am ready for Dust 2 again at this point. I was a little sick of it at the time. You know, I'd seen it every pub server, every DM, every scrim, every ESCA match, everything for about 10 years, and I was getting a little sick of it, but I'm ready for it again.
In what way?
I'm just ready. It seems refreshing. I see gameplay on it now, and I'm like, oh, Dust 2, yeah, classic. You got, you know, too much of a good thing will kill you. You take some time off from it, and you're ready. I'm ready.
I'm always ready. Dust 2 is one of my favorite maps of all time. I think it encapsulates everything what a Counter-Strike is about. It's iconic in a way. If you see that map, whether you're a Counter-Strike fan or not, you know exactly what the game is just by seeing that map. And many people try to recreate it and kind of work out what is it about.
You lift the roof off the mark. I'm just kidding. I started the discussion, remember?
Yeah. I think they just do what they did in Inferno, and they just keep the kind of essence of the map there and just improve it.
I do think something has to be done for the B skyboxes. The reason I thought the market would work is because then the CTs could utilize it to pincer off a choke point. Whereas if you just take off the roof, the Ts can explode all the way from
I think the problem
spawn.
with that is the only thing is the CTs can become a lot more aggressive than most of the time. They can bring like loads of OP rushes, I think. You flash it
yeah,
over, right?
it is possible. It is definitely possible, but it gave the CTs something to be aggressive for. That's something I think that you lack on Dust 2.
The changes I would make on Dust 2, do you know the B doors? You flip those around so you can AWP from outside the B-bomb site and look towards the tunnel. That's a massive improvement already. But then you do bring the open skyboxes from T-spawn, so the Ts can opt to smoke that angle all the way through.
Yeah,
but it's obvious that they come in. It's a big commitment to smoke that.
I like that because I don't think the issue itself, everyone says, oh, holding B is a nightmare. Holding B, Dupree tweeted me and said, oh, it's a nightmare. Holding B is not a nightmare. Holding B when you lose mid is a nightmare. So I think mid's more the issue the way I look at it. As I see it, because as soon as they exploit that and you get the split, you have to commit either a 2-1 in sight or a 1-2, 2 in mid. Anyway, I just threw out the conversation starter. I'm not going to go back into that. That was months ago. We've all been there.
I'm sure it'll come back.
It was just a conversation starter, and I like some of the ideas that people have brought up. I actually don't mind yours for the reasons of the smoke.
I just want to keep it simple. Yeah, you know, like I just want to make sure it looks really pretty and it's up to date.
Has to look pretty. That's priority uno.
Yeah, it looks nice on camera, and like people get hyped about it again. It might bring some life back into the game. I know we've kind of dropped off a little bit considering some other games are catching up, but just to bring Dust 2 back, I think everyone will be hyped just to see that come back a little bit. But we are on Mirage this time. There's a technical pause. We had a server issue, and it was 2-0 in favour of North. It was going to be 3-0 as well, so it's lucky we didn't crash in like a really important round. No kills being exchanged, so we don't have to go nuts.
Yeah, it was right at the start. It was an interesting crash because obviously the server, I wonder if they had to medic the server after. Anyway, I'm not going to speculate. It just seemed weird that Cajun wasn't moving before everyone else, before the issue hit.
Sure.
But we're just about ready to go again, I think.
I'm not sure.
2-0. No, we are. I've had the call. I've had the call in my ear saying the referee has called a startage to the map. Does that work? Doesn't work. Doesn't sound the same as stoppage.
He's waved the flag.
He's begun.
Yeah.
Waved. I like that. Waved the flag.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We do rolling starts. We don't do 5 lights out type of thing.
Why is that safer or?
It's safer and it's also easier on cars because you're not dropping a clutch and slamming onto a differential and then lighting up tires that you properly heat up instead on a formation lap. It's also safer when you go into the first corner because you're coming off the formation lap. You still have heat in the tire.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It will be Australis on the city side. You're just joining us. This is the hot match of the week, just in time. You haven't missed much. We've had the pistol round, which is really cool. I broke that down quite in depth, more than I usually would do, because it was quite impressive. It was quite nice to see someone mixing things up on Mirage. And it looks like we are.
I'm just going to stipulate this now because I try and press the cop button, but if you hear that noise, I'm not being rude on stream. It's me trying to drink tea to not get sick.
Okay.
I think we can all agree to allow that. Is that fair?
You're already sick in the head, so let's...
that's a good point. You're right.
but I'll allow that.
Which head, though?
Wait.
Ask Don Hichi, he knows.
God, we haven't gone there. All right, here we go, round number 3, and it will be AKs and UMPs coming through. Like we said, 2 saved, upgraded pistols for Australis of armor as well. They always can be a little bit deadly, especially Device and Dupree. I'm surprised they didn't swap over because Dupree is known to be one of the most impressive deagle players we have in the game, but obviously Device no slouch with that weapon either. We are back into it. I'm sure the scoreboard will update momentarily, so do not be alarmed.
Yeah, as soon as the round ends. Yeah, after a medic, you usually have to end the next round and it clicks back in.
Yeah. So this should be quite an easy round. If Australis pick up 2, maybe 3 kills, that would be a huge success. I'd say 1's probably likely. But we'll see. You never know. Looking like for a B split, here's Valda, the new addition to North. I say new, relatively new at this point. Heads towards the B side. Some good damage inflicted towards Cajun, but no kill. I think they had to strike at that point. And here come the frags. 3 for North. As we said, quite an easy procedure. 1 kill was my expectation. There it is. Dupree boosted on the B side, and it will be for a Device now. The Opera other side. Let's get a second. So that's a round success. If he does manage to save the AK as well, that would be fantastic.
So back around to Connector. Just Device to find. Could go 3-0 when he does get found. Marcel, the man on the search. I'm not sure that MSL. I guess he will. He might as well. Nothing to lose. He's got SMG. He's going to find Device as well, just as Device looks away. Oh, I think he's bought it. Yeah, he did. Yep. Done.
Hello.
And AK back. Thank you very much.
That's really frustrating timing for the Device. Just as he looks away from that angle, Emerson comes to the corner, spots Pixel on his shoulder, takes him down. We'll have a look at the money available. Device with a couple of kills there. Does get $4,800, but that's going to be glass cannon and then some. Nothing to work with. So he goes with the M4. No kits here. This is a bit of a problem for Australis. They might have to go do something a little bit more aggressive here. I think that's exactly what's about to happen. Towards middle we go. 2 players dropping down towards mid. And we'll see if they can get the opening kill as Kiabi and Device lead the charge.
Good push. Good find. Dupree with 1 backs off. Low HP. He's able to follow in with Kiabi, and Device wants some of it. All 3 finding kills. Just need to get Zipix and Glaive to get a kill, and we've got Team Ace. Not that that's their first priority. Cajun, meanwhile, still trying to work what he can. A former Astralis player, Cajun B.
Yes, indeed. Got his work cut out from this round. So that was an aggressive stance there from Australis. This is very unlikely that North can get back into the round. We've got Australis smothering the map right now, overwhelming every single area. We've got Zipex pushing B, Glaive with the A ramp, Device top of middle, but Varda takes him down. That's an opening. They still have time to make something of this. I doubt they can win the round, but we'll see what they can do. It's going to be Zipex comes in for the backstab. This is looking almost perfect. Oh, maybe it is.
That's, yep, just about. AWP picked up as well to be carried over to the CT side. That saves them some investment by keeping 4 alive as well.
So there's a couple of reasons why they go for that aggressive push at the start of that round. They know there's a couple of saved SMGs from the previous, and their money was not fantastic either. They had the 5 and 4s, like we said, no incendiaries, no kits, and they found themselves in a very difficult spot at that point. So pushing up middle, taking the aggressive push. Obviously, you've got some star players available. Let's get them in there. A couple of good flashes. Opening picks come through, and that's a very successful round for Australis there. Managing to recover an AWP as well for Device, who on his day can be one of the world's best. And we'll see whether he can find that form today. More aggressive play from Kiabi. Punish this time. Cajun B takes him down with that UMP. Clay fighting back, though. Does equal things up in a 4-on-4. Cajun B gets tagged up down to 30 points of health, but still absolutely fine here. We do normally say that the 4-on-4 situation usually favours the T side. Maybe not in this case, considering Cajun B low HP and with minimal firepower as well, with the UMP available.
Cajun B waits to see if Glaive will push through, if anyone will push through. For that matter, I think he's off his feet. He does his little booties, as you would say.
And the mittens.
And the middies. Good read. Great read. He's also gone up the ladder and spotted AZ. AZ's decided it best to just drop in and take the fight, take the exchange, and does so successfully. It could be a 2nd round in a row, however, for Australis. More so because the smokes go down late as they're already in the site. It gives them room and time, ample opportunity to work with the utility, though. Force Zipics back off the angle as he tried to go up on ticket. Cajun gets one, but Dupree times it well. Bomb is down, and so too is Cajun B. A good trade by Zipics. Last alive, that's fine.
Valiant effort there from Cajun B, considering he had such low health at the very start of the round. Down to 30, finds 3 kills in total. AZ and himself doing a good job trying to get stuck into that situation. It does cost Australis a lot of money there. So this is why they probably take a pause. And that's why North, yeah, exactly, that's what they'll do. Just work out, is this force by worth it right now? We've taken money out of their hands. We can afford maybe 2 rifles here, UMPs and CZs. And we'll see whether we can really answer back with maybe a strategic execution. It's what his team's known for. North are known for having great tactical prowess. As we saw in the pistol round, they get 4 smokes here, make it 5. A few flashbangs to work with as well. They've got that great BXQ map. We've seen it a few times from them. The AZ smoke, obviously, it looks a little bit funny with the boost in the B apartments, but it can be quite an efficient way to do that from what we've seen. They won't be going to that tactic just yet. They have got 4 players towards A, though, so some sort of set piece will coming through. But Kiabi might not be having any of it. He's rushing up middle once again, trying to find that first pick, and someone will be waiting for him. It'll be Config this time. He's going to be very good in these solo one-on-one duels.
He's so close to finding Config. The man you've highlighted to be the one to watch in this match. I think you're right. I think Config gets it. He certainly does. Device still gets one back and doing so drops the bomb, but he'll step up. His Cuphead-style gun, where he just points his finger. Magic Wand is not even there, not even needed. How do you fix that bug as a spectator? Do you have to reconnect?
Whose gun's not showing?
Devices is not showing.
Ah. I think, maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, GoTV would have to restart is what I'm being told. I don't know the ways of a spectator.
Even on my GoTV it's on that.
Yeah, so it's a GoTV issue, not a client side. Either way, good find for Device. The replay works, yeah. Why does the replay have it? Because they might be in the server. Yeah, different server for the replay. Yeah, that's right.
Well, there we go. Round number 5, 3-3. We're tied up here, and that will be the eco now for North. It's Astralis. Good job shutting down the force buy, and now Kiabi gets to have some fun with this MP9. Using the BB gun around the corner, gets 3 kills. It will be confident taking down finally with the Glock, but the damage has been done. The round has been won, and money is in the bank for the Astralis side. Kiabi, one of the players with, I guess, a bit of criticism around him recently in terms of not finding his true form since the E-League Major.
Yes.
It seems like he's been one of the key factors of this demise in form, I would say. He's always a player who's going to bounce back, I think. Very young and certainly got bucket loads of talent available, but certainly hasn't been playing to his absolute best recently. But this was pretty nice. Nothing too hard, but the fact he got 3 kills and farmed over the cash, that's great. Conte takes him down eventually, and now we have another gun round here. Cajun B doesn't need the AUG, not one of those AUGs that has to use it every single round. Definitely proficient with the rifles as well. It's not a problem, especially if you're going for executions as well. The Device jumping through the window once again. Focuses on the connector this time. Molotov out of position. That's a little bit awkward, but let's go back this time as Config does manage to find the first frag. Maybe the second here as well. Surely he gets it.
It's Glaive, good find. He's stuck in the corner, 19 HP. Times it to perfection. Goes back out. Valda goes down. Opens the underpass, or rather closes it off, depending on how you want to look at it. But they've got problems, because Glaive walking back out, if he goes to mid, will be greeted and found smartly. He goes the other way on low HP. Cajun was always working down middle. They had no information. It was a good find from AZ, and he's followed it up to get Kiabi. That opens up the A site. And Glaive is being actually extremely smart in all of this, because he's going to rotate all the way around behind them. If he'd walked back out to contest mid, no information, this round would have been already over. He's got to walk soon. AZ has A main to work. Dupree will try and find Cajun. Smoke down, won't be able to spot him going towards CT, but Glaive is about to arrive. No one immediately in the open when he gets here. I take it back because Cajun had just gotten in a position to be visible, I should say. As he still holds A main, they know it's going to be there. Absolutely. Molotovs to take away any chance for a peek, and a defuse well-timed from Glaive all the way around, I have to say. Great round.
Yeah, Glaive with a really nice flank there. Absolutely. Time to perfection as well. Wasn't the crisp of sprays from the apartments, but it got the job done. 3 kills in total, and AZ definitely had a chance to win that one. He had low HP, sure. Molotov out of position, but there was a gap to take down that crossing player, and then things could have got interesting, but taken down, low HP. Couldn't do too much about it, and we go back into what seems like another gun round here. In terms of loss bonus, we are at 5th stage. They won a single round when we got back into this. It was a 3-0 for them, if you remember.
I vaguely remember.
Before the little crash we had. And it's been 5 clean rounds in a row for Australis. So maximum loss bonus of the bomb going down does yield a full buy for the north side. Device this time heads towards B. Might wrap around towards short. So that would make sense at this stage as AZ once again at the end of the apartments. And Device, what's he got up his sleeve here? Will he be baiting someone in? Zipex there, ready and waiting.
Device with the smoke down is waiting along with Zipex. Oh my goodness. Oh, he actually would have seen him too. He's further up than I was ready for. Still, oh wait. But this is going to happen. This will be an exchange. Device is primed and ready, and they are getting closer and closer to be Valda. Mid smoke. Heads out towards the window. Lands quite easily and effectively. It's harder to line that one up than it is to throw the tighter angle, or rather line up the tighter angle, but it's easier to hit once you do learn the lineup. Instead, though, the fake turns into something more substantial because they actually do go back to contest mid, and in doing so, it's MSL to find Dupree, not before which he could find Cajun B, however, so still, they have to make a decision with 26 seconds. It looks like they're getting closer and closer and more convinced for B. If that's the case, Config has to sell this.
Yeah, but it's Device ready and waiting. He spots an arm as well. Flashbang comes through, dodges it really nice. He doesn't hit the shot, though. That's the difference maker of the round. Time still ticking away. 10 seconds here. Zipex, the last line of defense. And
good read.
What a line it is. The bomb will be planted just about, but he bides his time, waits for the rotations, using that man advantage to his favor.
Great read by Zipex to position himself on low HP, knowing he was going to get peeked and flanked from Catwalk. He manages one more after set as well, and it helps Glaive on the retake. They win it out, I have to say. Zipex pretty much, as you said, the last line of defense did so for them.
And that's the thing. A lot of players be tempted to rush in there and try and deny the plan, but he's realized I've got a 3-on-2 situation. It's very unlikely that angle I can really do anything about that. I'll hold here, and I'll make sure I get one player. I'll make sure he can't rotate out. I know exactly where he is. He's locked on the bomb site, that planter. My teammates will come through, and then we'll win the round as a unit. Instead of me trying to go in for these mad heroics, it should have been an earlier round there for Australis, considering Device had such a great position, dodged the flashbang, couldn't find the shot, but still, Zipex always been known as one of the best B players in Mirage. Solid for 1 or 2 frags every single time, even solo. So that's fantastic to see him performing to the level we expect. The bomb goes down once again, and Kiabi, he loves his aggressive play in middle. He seems to be hitting every shot right now. And here he goes once again, but this time misses out on it. MSL takes him down, and it will be an early 5-on-4. And AZ's not messing around, but it's going to be Glaive and Device to mow them down at the A apartments here. Well, look, that's such a promising round. Starting to fall apart, but Config is picking up the pieces at this point.
Deva. Going to go beast mode with the AWP as Australis have control. Checks the close angle behind the smoke to make sure no one was lingering on the inside of the ticket booth. Without a plant, no need to contest through the smokes, though. They'll sit back, hold the perimeter of sight. As MSL checks bottom of the stairs, it's on the inside of the wooden window that he actually has to be more cautious of. Good find. Wow. Device. That's pretty good to get 2 that quickly.
Yeah, it's not
dynamic as well. He was just in CT. He elects to rotate over knowing they have to cross to the site and the smoke dissolves. He already had Zipex in position.
Will be Device with the 3 quick kills towards the end of the round. Kiabi, the rush middle once again. They've really been trying to push the envelope on that play. It's worked out a few times, but MSL, as we saw at the start, managed to shut it down at 5-on-4. At that point, North went all in. They used that pick instead of waiting for CT reactions to come through. They used that. Right, that's the cue. Let's get in towards the A side. Surprise them, and they have the knives out potentially. Got shut down by the waiting CD players. First shot with the AWP as well. And nothing really came of it. Plant going down, and the maximum loss spin is sure, that's great, but need the plant. It's the boost we were talking about, Matt. We'll call it the North execution. I think with this specific boost and the B play coming in, it seems to work on nicely. This smoke goes towards, it's normally easy to throw, this goes towards the B window. As you can see, it's quite pretty. And it goes, and oh, Zipex, what have you done? Horrible, horrible things. 3 kills with the AK-47, make it 4. That's quite nice. Let them all run past, made them look foolish.
That's pretty good. I can approve of that. He's a smart player.
Yeah.
God, B, Snacks, Zipex. Take your pick on smarts. I would add the skills to go with Snacks formerly. Zipex certainly right now. That is brilliant.
They're so focused on getting the smokes down and the flashbangs getting in there. They just overlook that one key corner, and down they go. 8 rounds in a row for Australis. They've had their ups and downs the last month or so, but this is looking very dominant, especially against North as well. It looked fantastic yesterday. As we get into a Device, guaranteed kill here. There it is. Takes down MSL. It's a brave push to make going towards the mid-box when that sort of gap available, and most AWPers do hit that. 5-on-4. Device not being Super dynamic. Just goes back towards the apartments here. Has shown presence in the middle. AZ will definitely be aware that's a possibility. Waiting for Cajun B to try and make something happen here. What a flick that is. Say what you want about Cajun B and his non-flashy playstyle, but that was a really impressive shot. And now it's down to the 4-on-4.
Config. Still waiting inside a connector to see if there'll be a push back up from Catwalk. In the meantime, it's in the site that Kiabi and Glaive have to work together, and Kiabi still has his shoulder pressed to the side in which he expects and is hiding away from a main. He's got to be more worried about exactly that connector. No one watching it. Kiabi doesn't consider, and Cajun checks it accordingly with an AWP. That will open up the site, and the plant comes in accordingly. It could be the first round for North in a while. It was 3-0. As you say, the crash, that actually kept it 2-0 to be precise on it, but it was still a 3-0 start that North had. 8 rounds in a row for Australis, finally silenced. Important, therefore, if they are going to silence it, that they stay efficient in doing so. Every kill counts for Australis, therefore great work from Valda, and they'll stay with 4 up.
They will indeed, finally taking them down. 8 rounds in a row, and North managed to keep decent numbers up as well. Plenty of cash. It's not as strong as I thought it would be. They have got about 8k per player, but Kiabi and Dupree have died a few more times, and this was the shot that really opened things up at A site. Wonderful stuff from Cajun there. That's a really difficult flick on the head as well. Very precise. That was the key to getting towards A, and nothing they could do about it. Australis just rolled over at that point. All comes out for Device once again. No double AWP set up as of yet on either side. Just see it from time to time on Mirage on the T side. Maybe a little boost going on here. Something's about to come in. Yeah, here comes the boost in the corner. I actually quite like this. Quite cool. Nice little gap. And up we go.
Oh,
practice that one a little bit more, boys.
So close. Very close. Yet so far.
Nice nade. 40 damage to 2 players there, so that's not too bad at all. 18 total. They'll fall back though, so no harm, no foul. Didn't give anything up. Definitely opportunity to get a kill, but doing some considerable damage and enabling his M4s to have a couple of one-tap targets now, that's fine.
Prime spot, prime real estate boost for the window. Almost should have been expected or anticipated based on a boost on Cat. You'd therefore expect that 2 on Cat means none in window, which means 1 potentially to ladder, but they couldn't react in time. This is a reset round, but that's why 4 staying alive in the previous is so important, as Valda will get Kiabi down. It's a good response frag to at least allow a bomb plant for North to work with, as Device, with smoke in his face, won't be able to look through connector and see anyone who's trying to establish position in the post plant, which Valda times to perfection. As the smoke dissolves, dissipates, just as he gets toward the window. KLP, that could cost them. That could cost them dearly. Cajun, double miss. Takes down even one of those shots as he goes back for a third and somehow gets the lineup. How has he still got a chance in this? But 3 big misses. They're getting closer and closer, 4 in total. And unfortunately, it's held plant, or held defuse, excuse me, but AZ's at the ready. Even those warning shots, if you want to call them that, from KGB slowed them enough, I guess, in the end.
Not the prettiest round of Counter-Strike just there. But still, KGB does enough to find the shots eventually. The misses are the problem. These are shots most AWPers would be hitting. He's gifted a couple there, but third one comes in. I think he got one more as well, so that was absolutely fine. He's wasted time. I'm not sure where Valda got that kill, but AZ set up the double spray down. Wasted so much time, I guess, the warning shots that they had to go for a full defuse. We're going to round number 12 here. 8-5. Oops. Out for both sides, and whoever wins this round should be shoving their opponents onto an eco. Maybe not so much the north side, because they've still got about 3k per player. Device, though, encroaches on the top of middle. Doesn't go too far. He knows there's a possibility they could be in a hyper-defensive setup. 20 remaining. Nothing really gained by North as of yet. They know that Astralis have been pushing almost every single angle, especially at the start of the game towards A-Ramp, Palace, top of middle. That's how they got this momentum built up, and now this could be their last buy. They dropped this one North and right back in this game.
Right back into this game as Config sits to watch the underpass. AZ, meanwhile, is just about ready to catch a headshot on aggression from the CTs. It was Glaive that would have been found. Kiarbi gets one and goes down. That gives Glaive still a chance to work from Shadow, but his work will be rather thwarted and a little bit under pressure. As the flames land at his feet, it forces him out. Vault is ready. Response, therefore, has to be swift from Device. I can't tell if he's got his quick switch in or not because no gun, but he jumps away. It's Config. Gets Dupree at the very least. Late to get into mid, tries to jump down cleverly across the smoke to find the reverse side, the right side of Connector. And Bomb still down to the side. He has it all to do with 18 seconds. They don't need to peek. Force the issue, but Zipix certainly wants to as soon as I say that.
It seems like he does. It's lucky the device is open, because then we can see his crosshair at least. We can see the scope come up.
That's true, yes.
So that's something. We don't have his gun model, but we can see the scope. That's fine. So Mad Pause to finish off things here. It is going to be round number 15. So it is a bit confusing. It's round number 13, but it's 9-5 obviously. There's only one round left. So this will be the final one. Famous on Dupree. I did say the money would be weak on whoever lost that previous round. It will be North this time. As mentioned, they do have enough for a few rifles, but 2 players down to pistols. That'll be MSL and Config this time. As the analyst said, arguably one of the most skilled players on the server right now, Config, down with this the Deagle. But that doesn't seem to bother him ever. He seems to be absolutely fine. We're just going with a CZ or a Deagle and finding some really disgusting shots. This will be another A split from what I can see. 4 players outside the A bomb site. One towards top mid, was falling back towards A as well. So I just wanted to show presence in mid as the smokes go down and the final play comes in. Can they get anything done here? Round number 15.
Certainly can.
Wow.
Glaive. Oh, take it back and go the other way. And then some bomb inside of the site. As well as the 2 kills, Cajun does at least flash himself back in accordance. No one else to watch him, and we've leveled the score because AZ has walked in and found a phenomenal headshot. AZ's entrances tonight have been reasonable.
Yeah, very good.
Worthy of note, certainly, as Zipix gets behind the chimney, but he'll get swept by Cajun. It's Kiarbi, therefore, that will try and smoke back into the site and give him a chance to potentially cover off one immediate threat on his left and hold Palace. All he has to do is hold Palace because he's got Dupree. It's about to clear out A main for him. Bomb faked, not down yet. That's going to bring Dupree to perfect position. If he peeks now, he sat back to wait. I think he was anticipating someone to be a lot closer. If he'd gone, he may have even denied the plant. Cajun's read it, and never mind the fact of denying the plants. He may have denied them a chance at the round, Cajun, because Kiarbi's the last alive. They know exactly where he is, and I think North's about to go 9-6 to end the half. Don't be fooled by round 13 at the top.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
absolutely
15.
right. Yeah, there's no way that Kiarbi can win this one, I'm afraid. Down he goes, and lovely work once again. That was a 5-on-3 situation there. Glaive getting the first 2 frags, and they had Device ready and waiting. But you're absolutely right. It's AZ who's been amazing there, especially in that A apartments area. Managing to come out of the AK-47. Looking really crisp tonight, I have to say. I haven't said that about AZ in quite a long time. Very impressive stuff from him, and I'm sure they've got a few more rounds to add to the board in their half number 2. We'll take a break and find out what they can do.
Well, it's 9-6 after a start from North that was desirable, going up 3-0. By the way, North, of all the teams that were listed in the statistics for getting an early start, North are the team most dependent on getting 5-0 to win a match, as opposed to anyone else. They did not get 5-0. They got shut down, and 8 rounds went to Australis in a row.
Because Australis presented some great aggression there. Not holding anything back in the first opening gun rounds there, managing to get up there a few times and find picks. It was not until round number 8 or 9 that MSL managed to shut down Kiabi, pushing up middle almost every single time. And we'll get into the second half. It's 9-6 in favour of Australis. I'll switch over to the T side now. They've got the basic 2 smokes, a couple of flashbangs as well. Most teams use those towards the A side of the map, but we are changing things up once again. It will be a smoke towards middle here, and maybe both of these teams are showing us something a little bit new. Will be an A split eventually with 3 players going towards the underpass here. Device in the Palace and Glaive holding towards middle for rotations, but this is a quick tactic, and can Cajun do anything about it? Spots them, but decides not to overcommit.
Overcommit. Easy. The second shot was impressive. I was expecting him to swing hard left. Still, though, it left Zipix alive, and Zipix alive is a threat to its own because he's done well to pull it back. In fact, getting out to config, it's a 2 versus 2 after AZ's smart and quick play. And it slows the round altogether. Bomb still in mid for Zipix.
It is. And now the mind games begin. Over a minute to work with here. 2-on-2. Definitely favours Astralis. If North are smart, they probably want to stick together here and make it one solo retake or a defence. They will be separated for now. It's going to be Varda, top and middle, and MSL patrolling the B site. And they've left A completely open, which is fine. They can retake together. Bomb will go down. They have got a kit and a smoke as well. That can make things a little bit problematic here, but Australis have to waste a lot of time actually getting this bomb down. But look at the minimap right now. We have got Valda actually rotating all the way through T-spawn. He has to be the pivotal factor here. MSL in B, he'll have to wait. Valda has to make something happen. As soon as his bomb's down, he knows he can't wait for MSL to come all that way. He'll probably have to come and challenge at the A ramp, and here's the footsteps, and here's his chance.
Perfectly lined up. Valda was so patient. Zipix, he wanted to consider it, but didn't know that it would be so close, and as a result, gone down. It's on to the MSL player, as you mentioned.
Smoke available as well. This one's down.
I was going to say, to find Device, who's walking out connector. He may not even get that far. Device still just with his finger gun. Pew pew. Smoke on it, as you mentioned. Oh my goodness, I thought he had that lineup almost right. That was close.
It's such a difficult situation. That smoke goes down, it's just so done. Unless you get incredibly lucky. It's just, as soon as you fire that first bullet, they're going to know where you're coming from. They'll just take you down. Especially in the 2 versus 1. AZ, very nice approach here. He's been really good on this map so far. They haven't been winning all the rounds, but the ones they have been winning, he's been stepping up and showing us what he's made of. 9-7, both pistols in favour of North, Matt. Let's keep track of that. They got 3-0 in the first, and it's looked like it'll be a 2-0 almost for sure here, as the AKs will come out of the 3rd round. So just Glocks, PD50s, CZ for Zipex, no armour, 1 flashbang. They are spread out, so I'm not going to be rushing just yet. See if there are any kills available. Might as well. Every kill they get limits North going into that first gun round, if you will, and the force play comes out in the AKs in the 3rd. So it's definitely worth just waiting. Bleed out the nades as well. Make sure they have to reinvest into the next round. Try and get out every smoke, every flashbang off their utility belt. That's exactly what they'll do here. As the CTs get a little bit frustrated and trying to fight for some map control and get the frags in their favour. They know they can't really give much away, but there's the first.
You can see get Zipix again being impressive early in the rounds and in pivotal moments. It's Device though. Wants a piece of it from top mid down toward AZ's position. Agent really lined up, but can only find 1 in the SMG. That'll back AZ off to a better angle, or an angle he finds more viable. Problem is he decides to do it late, and in doing it late, immediately gets caught out in the middle of the archway, not on either side of it. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. And it brings us to a 3 versus 3. However, they've lost the only gun. It's Device down. M4 not in his hands at all as Glaive rushes B and hopes for the best. I'm sorry, Glaive. Not today.
Good try. That's a full eco, but still 15 seconds. Dupree probably just wants to die here. He could save the M4. He'd still have $1,000 to buy armor, so that's still fine, actually. That's if he survives with it, but it looks like he will. So, saving the M4 with the flashbang as well. Yeah, he can still buy armor and some nades as well, so he's absolutely fine. He's on the same level as his teammates to bring out the AKs and armor into the next round. And here's the replay after that bomb trying to be planted, I believe. There it is. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It will be 9-8, looking for the 3-0 once more. A bit difficult this time, considering the T's bring out the AKs and the M4. Don't forget about that. We'll have a couple of UMPs for North and 3 M4s. I don't see anything super aggressive coming out here. I don't think it's worth it, but maybe a little bit of a different setup. It's MSL and AZ. You usually play towards that A ramp. They're not pushing middle, but they are certainly exploring the idea of finding the first frag. And Device shuts them down with a nice headshot there. That brings in a 5-on-4.
Cajun backs off at the exact time that he needs to because he gives up window, but he's got to get on his horse to get toward B. They've lost their only line of defense, and the Cyclave's already planting. And they do so with such quickness that Device is still in mid, and North's already going to save. Just back off of it. Device was perfectly aligned to cut off rotations. I think they knew they had nothing to work with in the map, so they make the call early.
No 3-0.
Well, it's no 3-0. But also a bit of a bonus situation considering they held up the SMGs against the early buy. The problem is you never really get to establish the economy with them, so it doesn't really qualify.
It wasn't so much as a bonus because they actually lost a few frags in that second round against the Glocks, right? So it was more out of just trying to keep the money strong. And you can see if they save these 2 weapons, they'll be able to drop some UMPs. It'll be a really ropey buy. And that's if they save AZ and MSL towards that Palace position. So we'll survive, and we'll see what the saved weapons can bring to the table here. In terms of weaponry, MSL with the M4, AZ with the UMP, and one more info gets dropped, so it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Config still with 4100, so it's okay. They get a couple of kits to work with there as well. It's basic utility, and we'll see what they decide to go aggressive once again. It's MSL and AZ, like I said, normally right up toward the mouth of the A ramp and trying to find the kills together. Smoke's deployed. Is that a missed smoke by the window? It looked like it was.
How many times have we seen that?
Yeah.
Reminder, it's Dupree's crosshair that we're playing with. We've added an outline to make it easier for you all to see at home. He does not play with one. It's thin. I find yellow, by the way, is one of the hardest to see.
It's actually a scientific fact to know about yellow. I'll get into that after.
Well, let me know. Nice goes in, gets taken down immediately by AZ. Too many flashbangs for him to sustain. However, they still pull it back because Dupree and Kjarby get through the window toward mid, and Kjarby comes out from Palace. AZ's locked in behind the firebox. It has to be considered, surely, that Kjarby will check the corners. Certainly does. Leaves us to Valda. Valda going aggressive. Nade drawn, gun not, but Xyp9x gets positioned accordingly. Yellow.
Yeah, there's a theory about yellow. Maybe not so much a crosshairs, but it's the color your brain can react to the most. It's the quickest. When you're doing like a reaction test, if the color yellow comes up, it's when your brain can process the fastest. So
brightest, maybe?
Yeah, so there's like this theory if you play with a yellow crosshair and you're staring at the yellow all the time and something walks in front of it, you're going to react faster. There's probably no logic behind that in Counter-Strike, but
I find I lose it in the walls.
Some players, like I've played with in the past, have said to me that that's the reason they play because they've heard it might help their reaction speed, even like 0.1% or something. I don't know.
No, yeah, interestingly enough, it is also the color the Native Americans had the most trouble creating. There was nothing that you could create yellow paint from. No, you couldn't create yellow paint from natural material. As Config gets Device, Glaive, Device, Kjarby all found kills beforehand, though, and it's just going to be Australis cleaning up. Straightforward. 12 rounds to them. 8 to North. Yeah, I get what you're saying with it if you want to stare directly at it. I find if I'm looking at radar and whatnot, or I'm moving, and I mean, obviously the hertz rates of modern monitors make it easier. I just find I lose it on the textures too much. Yeah. I used to play red crosshair because I found it stuck out the most.
Yeah, makes sense. We have another gun round here, but Astralis taking quite the firm lead at this point, 12-8.
Finally,
aggression coming up middle, 3 players. Here we go. Flashbang's good though. I have to duck and weave those, but Config fully flashed. But still finds the shot, takes down Glaive. 3 players still middle for the CTs as Kjarby. Most 2 of them daggers. Think to the process, but the damage has been done. Xyp9x, of course he lands that shot, no problem at all. But AZ's still fighting. He has been very good today. Keeps the dream alive somewhat. 3 on 2.
You have to love that the one time they hit a smoke in mid is the exact time.
They rush middle.
Exactly. And North, they get the early exchange, but a great response from Kjarby, as you said, walking up from the underpass position. Device now. AWP will start to work toward the site. That was pixels away.
Yeah, he gets away with it as well. Vado was ready to take him down. A little bit lucky in that sense at the same time. Flashbang towards the window to help the bomber cross to the side. Molotov as well to deny any rotations. That's a bit over frustrating for Vald. Guaranteed to plant at this point as well. Device. Remember, we haven't got his models on right now, so that can be a bit confusing. He has got the AWP in the bottom right, as you can see, and he just planted the bomb. Ace comes towards short. They've got no kit mat, so no time to mess around. Straight up they go. Let's see if Valda and AZ can do anything about this.
On AZ. Device down. Starts 1 for the retake, 2 for the retake. Valda easily able to take down Carey, low HP. Device, or excuse me, Dupree, the other of the Ds. Gets a flash at the window. Now knows he's not on the bomb, and you're right, should be well and truly over. Valda's just looking to do damage at this point in time, doesn't matter. Call it what you want to call it. Dupree, excuse me, will go down with the bomb, I think, just barely before we swap away.
That's an old Source habit, looking at the bomb before you die. That actually works in CS Source. Doesn't work in CSGO, but people still do it. Like Dupree was a Source player, so everyone still has that in their brain. Just turn back and look at the bomb and desperately try and stay alive. But 13-8, like I said, I didn't want to call that too early, but the fact that Valda didn't have a kit, even if he killed him there, he couldn't win the round. There it is. It will be a fast play towards the A ramp. It's up against a full EQ, and Astralis looking very good to take the first map here. It's 13-8, almost certainly going to be 14. It's ramp 7. 3. Bouncing out, using the Molotov towards the van. Takes a bit of damage from that, but he has a kill regardless. And I've got some config deagle action, which can be scary on Mirage. He gets 1.5, but not enough to win the round by the looks of things. And that's AZ. Has a monumentous round here as we get into a 4-on-2 situation. He comes out of the kitchen area, but the flashbangs will take him down eventually. Zipex to find the kill.
MSL with a deagle and a dream. Nightmare for Zipex. I'd be waking up with my head ringing after that shot. Low HP. Device still finds it behind the bench, and not really much to get excited about, but honestly, Hank, I just wanted to get excited about something.
The second half hasn't been electrifying, I'll give you that. Nothing to report in terms of set clutches or anything really going right down to the wire. 14-8. Last chance saloon ready for North. They have got the maximum loss bonus at this point. The AWP comes out for KGB. Can be very good on Mirage. 2-0, but not much sense. Can see one player heading towards Shadow. That's MSL. Bounces up the smoke, buys some time. And up he goes. Zipex waiting on the other side of that smoke, and it will be, of course, Dupree at the air ramp.
MSL has Zipex dead to the sights. But is he afraid of heights? Because he's on top of the balcony, Henry.
It's not that high, though.
There's no railing on the balcony anymore.
Yeah, it's under construction.
It used to have a railing.
Yeah, that's right.
And you used to be able to bunny hop off the railing on top of the canopy on the site.
Yeah.
Bunny hop across that like Foon and get on the box behind CTs before they knew you were there, and then they would complain to the admin that he was doing it sideways. Cajuns check both sideways and forward toward connector and A main. Better still, though, we've got Glaive inside B. With Bomb still on A, he's causing a rotation because he's gotten so deep in the site. Their second kill in the round. AZ suddenly has to respond. Device starts things off on A, and all fronts are under attack. And they'll sink their battleship as well because Zipex is going to walk in. Pretty much done.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
Yeah. It's good herd in the morning. AZ gets his head blown off as he drops down. And it will be potentially the final round here as well. Like I said, maximum loss bonus, but you don't have the bonus of bombs going down on many kill rewards, really. And not finding many frags at all. So they get 3 rifles out here, a couple of UMPs, some basic utility, but this should be the game. Australis have a perfect opportunity to close this one out in round number 9. And of course, that missed smoke again. Surely not. I'm going to go investigate.
If that's enough.
Yep. Matt,
do you want to know how many that is? That's 6. 6 missed smokes in 9 rounds from Australis toward the mid-window.
Let's sort that out, boys. Let's go back to the easy one. From the railings. It's not as fast, but at least it goes there.
That's unbelievable.
Well, it's going to be actually a round for North here by the looks of things. 4-on-2 now. Zipex and Device left to clutch it out. There should be a kill available here for Zipex. Flashbang might actually do very well for him, but doesn't quite throw it just yet. AZ waiting for the smoke to go down. AZ will drop towards Shadow, actually finds the kill. So There we go. This smoke makes things a little bit chaotic, and you know exactly where Device is now. I think he picks up an AK, trying to. He's going to throw the AK. They all about the map, I think, and make sure they can't get it.
Do it. Do it. Gun juggle. You can gun juggle faster because he has to quick click. He doesn't have. If you had fast weapons.
He still did it. He got it out.
Get wrecked. He's going to throw his gun away too. That would be even funnier if he was just like, nope, you're not getting the AK either.
There it is. Please.
Valda knew exactly what he was doing.
So they can't actually afford an orb, so that actually makes sense. That's kind of cool.
That would have been great if he denied it right before he did it because of the slow juggling.
Why was he juggling so slow?
Because he didn't have quick switch on.
What do you mean?
So, well, you know how there's an option to leave it, so if you walk over a gun that's more powerful than that which you're holding?
Yeah, I have that set up.
Right, but the trick is you have to drop your pistol as well, because then you switch to whatever gun you pick up. The fact that he didn't drop his pistol meant that he was going G1, 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 because he was picking up the rifle, not the pistol. He'd switch back to the rifle.
I swear I can do that.
That or you just spam E with good crosshair placement. Yeah. It's not hard if you get the angle right. Yeah, that was oddly slow. Oddly quick for Glaive to get in position. Dupree, bounce flash over, very well placed, gets inside of the smoke and around behind two CT players, but AZ was not blinded inside of the arch at the connector and therefore gets the shot in return.
Yeah, 2 kits available. Lack of utility, but man advantage. Zipex, feeling brave in that position, has to hit the first bullet hit pretty much to be taken down. They have got one Molotov to deny the defuse here as the CT's coming from connector. Oh, the long con from Glaive, I like this. Well, do I?
No, you don't.
Drop the Molotov now.
Good play to start for Kiabi to get 1 kill back, but it's all too good for North to deny Australis winning the map here and now. We got one more in there. It's double digits, which means you can start getting excited, Henry.
Ooh, just got it in that. Couldn't find the frag.
I didn't even realize. Chats just called me out.
What?
I was saying 1G, 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 because you were pressing G to drop, but I was saying G1. I never even thought about 1G.
Nice.
Get your 1Gs up in the chat.
Again. Oh my god, you got to be joking.
Come on. Okay, I want everybody who's an Australis fan to do them a favor and tweet them clips of them missing that smoke and tell them it has happened 7 times. You think it's intentional?
Is that one maybe for the underpass?
No. No, there's no reason to throw that. Well, hang on, because did they throw a late smoke? No, see, Kiabi. Yeah, all right. That's the only time they've gone to underpass, though, that I've seen when they used it. If it was that time, that's clever enough to get him out from underneath. We'll have to investigate a little more.
The short smoke was there as well, and they threw that smoke.
Exactly. So and I'll give you that, because the short smoke allows them to get to boxes and then rethrow it so it's there for a longer duration when they take mid.
Happened there.
It could be, but that's definitely not happened every other time.
Okay. Yeah, that's not the... Yeah, you're right. That one might be by design, but it looks like the end of the game regardless. We have been talking over that a little bit. And we are 5-on-1, and Valda, the last player remaining, he can't with this, surely. It will be the map going in favor of Australis. So yeah, I think that smoke was by design, just to take the vision away. The CTs, they drop down, smoke was towards shore, and it means the CT can't be aggressive, they push through.
If it's by design, I just watched on my delayed stream, it's very clever, because it bounces off the side of the window, off the top step, and lands perfectly at underpass. It would be, yeah, I want to find out actually, you might be onto something, because that would be next level, because you're then playing around with the fact that they're going to think it's a missed smoke and overcommit to the peak, and the player from underpass will capitalize them. The analysts might know better, we'll send it to Chad and the desk and Alex as well.